All right, it is fight week for Anthony Caschera. Anthony, how you doing, my man? It's fight week. How you feeling? Tell me how you're a veteran now. This is your fifth fight. You're 4-0. How you feeling? I mean, you're probably done with your hard sparring, so you're just working on techniques. What's
Yeah,
going on through your
I,
mind right now?
I think I'm far from a veteran, Bob, but you do learn a little bit each and every fight. I definitely see myself progressing and getting a little better, learning from little mistakes. Whether it be cutting or diet or lifting, and I feel like it's really well rounded right now. Like you said, I am. I know everything I'm going to know at this point. This last week, I'm just cruising. I'm in the gym right now, just with a little upper body and got a little cardio in. Then I'll go to practice, do some pads and bags and all that tonight. Yeah, so I'm just moving. I'm feeling good.
Before we talk about the fight, let's talk a little bit about what got you here. Now, you have that background of wrestling. When you were wrestling in high school, did you kind of know that? Did you like martial arts? When did you kind of, in your mind, say, you know what, I'm going to, dedicate my time to mixed martial arts besides wrestling?
Yeah, it's been. I just got into this. I'm very new, but it's been a long time coming in my mind. Even back 11th, 12th grade, I was talking about it. And that continued up until I actually started it. I was always just, I'm going to do it one day. I'm going to do it one day. And it was always on my bucket list. And that's kind of where that first fight landed was I just want to get in there, mix it up, and see if I actually can fight. And I don't know how we're 5 fights deep right now, but here we are. So I'm enjoying it.
Was there any professional fighter or mixed martial artist that you liked that made that you couldn't wait to see fight that you admired? Any of the
Yeah.
UFC, anybody like that?
Yeah, so I have some relationships with the guys. Phil Davis, my brother, was a teammate with Bubba Jenkins, who was in Bellator. Now he's in. He's actually the champion of Brave. So shout out Bubba J. Ed Ruth, my brother was his teammate as well. So I know some of these guys, been around some high level athletes, and I'm fortunate to be able to kind of look at their careers for guidance and see some mistakes and decisions they made to help me out.
All right. Well, tell me a little bit about your camp right now. Who were you sparring with? Who's your coaches? Who's the go-to guy for you if you have a question or the one that's helping you learn the most right now?
Man, we all help each other out. As far as teammates, we got Lou Rumsey, who's our pro in the gym. We got Mike Gerb, Stephanie Yaskweek, who I know you're familiar with. We got Josh Horn, Tyree, Shaim. So shout out to all those guys. We really mixed it up. There's no specific training partners. As far as my coaches, we got John Powell, Scott Diggs, and Anthony from True Believer in Pittsburgh. Shout out to Jake at True Believer too. We went up there and trained for a day this past week. So yeah, it's everyone. It's a mix of everyone. I got someone training me for lifting in the mornings. Alec at Humbly Strong, shout you out. Everything's coming together. I got a good team around me, good support, and I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to go.
Well, the two guys that I got to see fight from your camp, yourself and Steve. Um, one of the things that I noticed, and I think I asked you about this before, is you guys, like, you come to the cage and fight angry. You like sort of have an attitude. Now, is that your personality? Is that something that your coach is ingrained in you? Because you guys seem to me like you come and you're for being such young, inexperienced guys. Even though it's 4 fights, you seem to have already have that mental preparedness. Like, this is my job. I'm in here to do business, and you're angry. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I'd say coach is 50-50 on it. If everything goes well, it's good. But they definitely tell me to, calm down and be a little more, have a little bit more finesse in my movement. Because I do get worked up and I want to go in there and rip someone's head off. But that's how we train. We train real hard. We don't go late in there. We're definitely a hard training, strap up and get to work type of crew. So it all comes full circle, and that's how I get in there and fight.
Now, since you have strong wrestling base, your coaches kind of guide you through your camp where you kind of don't do as much wrestling and work more on your striking and your jiu-jitsu? How do they like work out a different plan for you, since you already have such that, listen, how you can take people down, you can keep yourself from getting taken down, so you have those skills? Is it kind of like a nice balance, or do you still work on your wrestling in camp?
Oh, For sure. It's definitely a nice balance. It gave me my base and my background coming into it. But you can't stop ever doing anything. You can't stop striking. You can't stop jits. There's definitely days where I'll focus more on one area or the other. But this game, it's so intricate. There's so many levels. There's so many different, there's ground, stand up, and you got to know it all. And if you're not constantly working on everything, then you're going to fall behind in an area, and that's where you're going to take a loss.
Well, let's talk about your fight. You're fighting Nick Uva at Art of War 12 coming up at the 2300 Arena. Now, this early in your career, do you try to find film on your opponents, or are you the kind of guy? I mean, I've come across fighters who are both. Some guys don't want to watch film. Other guys want to watch everything they can find. Where are you right now? Because Nick he comes from a great camp of balance. He's 3-1. Listen, this is a battle between two very talented guys. Nick is very talented. You're very talented. You guys were both on the same card the last time. I'm a fan of both of you guys. I think you both have bright futures. But do you watch film on your opponent, specifically Nick, or what's your take on that?
Yeah, every single opponent I've had, even back in my first fight. Maybe it is the wrestling background. I'm so used to looking through old tapes and knowing what they lead with, knowing what they come out with in the second, knowing if they slow down or go harder in the third. You could say I've watched his tapes a good amount of times. I think I know his tendencies. I don't think he had his best fight, his previous fight. I didn't have my best fight in my previous fight. So I got nothing bad to say about him. I hope he brings 100%. And like you said, I think it's going to be a good fight. I hope we put on a show.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be cage side calling it. Once again, I'm with Anthony Caschera. It's fight week, and he's fighting for his first amateur championship. And ground and pound looks like it's going to be in play. And I think that's important for you, because advancing in your career, I think that's going to be one of your strengths, just from watching your style, because you are the hardcore wrestler. So that's always going to be a part of your persona or your wrestling skills. So appreciate you giving me some time. You look like you're in pretty good spirits, despite probably having to cut a little bit weight. And it's nice to see a smile. Sometimes I get a guy fight week and they're miserable, but it's nice to see you happy.
When you do it right and the weight's already off, I'm in a great mood.
That's good coaching, and that's smart. Hey, listen, you've been doing it your whole life since you've been a wrestler. Before we go, give some love, some shout outs. Doesn't have to necessarily be somebody in the training room, somebody who's giving you, some support, who's going to be there cheering the loudest for you to get that belt around your waist.
Yeah, I sold a couple tickets. We got some of Williamsport coming down. So anyone who comes out to a show, even if they're not my fans, anyone who's buying tickets, that's who puts us in there. But as far as my family and my friends go, I couldn't ask for more. They're always reaching out, whether I need help with food or lifting or, anything. They're just there to support me and pick me up on the bad days and keep me going.
Anthony Caschera, 4-0, looking for 5-0 in his first belt. It's a pleasure. I can't wait to see you do your thing. Like I said, I'm a fan of both you guys, and I'm just excited for you guys to be there and to go in that cage and have the door locked behind you. Always a pleasure, my man.
Me too, Bob. I'll see you Friday.